Hi there, I'm Jamie Cunningham. This video is the first in a three-part series on how to create a marketing plan that works. Now you might be thinking, why would you create a marketing plan that doesn't work? And of course you wouldn't. However, sometimes when we think about marketing, we think about planning, it can be all overwhelming, and even if we do sit down and make the time to do it, we might end up with a document that is just a collection of thoughts, doesn't necessarily give us any clarity, or perhaps we're doing it because someone asked us to do it, like a bank or an investor. But really, what a marketing plan should be is a document that gives you clarity in your thinking, that enables you to execute and measure your results. And that's what we're going to walk through in this three-part series. The first video, which is this one, is all about the foundation or the strategy and the thinking behind your marketing. The second video is about choosing the right, we call them marketing vehicles or the tactics for your marketing. And the third one is how to collect it into a calendar that you can, a calendar that's on one page that enables you to execute and stay focused on what you're doing and measure your results. So with that, let's dive into part one around the strategy and thinking behind your marketing. Let's do it. Before we go out and blow our brains on creating an awesome social media strategy or spend all our money on radio ads, there's a few questions that we need to answer first. And the reason we're going to answer these questions is because it's going to guide the strategies or the vehicles that we're going to choose, and it's going to guide how we're going to communicate through them, who we're going to target and what we're going to say. So the three questions we need to answer are, who is our ideal customer? Who are we serving? Who are we helping? Number two, what is their problem? What's the problem they're trying to solve, and how do we do that? And number three is, why are they going to choose us? We know who they are, what their problem is, but they've got options, so why are they going to choose us? So those questions are relatively simple, but let's dive into how to think about them and some of the components that might go into your answers. Okay, so the first one is the ideal customer. The ideal customer is, very simply, the people that you love to deal with. Now, you might serve different segments of the market. For instance, if you're a B2B person, you might have, or you might even have some B2B and some B2C customers as business to business, business to consumer. Or within your market, you might have some elderly people that you serve. You might also have some families that you serve. You might have 1 to 5 different segments that make up your business. So in the big scheme of your marketing, you will have 1 to 5 ideal customer profiles that you're targeting. For now, if you're starting, just start with one. Pick one market. And within each of those segments, those market segments that you serve, you've got different qualities of customers within that. You've got your awesome customers, and these are your ideal customers, the ones you want more of, the ones that are profitable, don't give you any hassles, you love dealing with them, they buy the stuff that you're good at. Then you've got your steady eddies, who are, they're okay, they come and buy, but they're sort of neither here nor there, not going to set your world on fire or take your business to the next level necessarily, but you like having them as customers. And number three are the pitter customers, or the pain in the ass customers. We don't want more of these. Dealing with them is a different video. But for now, let's just focus on the awesome customers, or we're going to call them the ideal customers. You want to write an actual description on who they are. And for a template on that, just click on the link below. There's some thinking there that can walk you through to understand what they believe, what they value, what their hobbies are, a bit about their demographic and their social profile. Essentially, you want to understand all these elements so you can get inside their thinking and understand what they care about so that your marketing can connect with that. Looking at our second question, which is, what is the problem our ideal customer has and how do we solve it? So obviously 2 elements there. The first part of that is really important. And you'll notice, again, that we're thinking about it from the customer's point of view. The how do we solve it, let's park that for a second, because that's about you and about your business, which you know is awesome. But for now, let's just focus on the customer. Let's say, for example, you're a PR company. And you know that what you do is you get PR, you get national exposure for people. You help build their businesses through exposure in the media. And if we just talked about that, Well, that's okay for people that are looking for PR, but there could be a whole lot of your ideal customers who are not really aware that PR is an option, but they are lying awake thinking about their stagnating revenue or their low profitability or their inability to get into new markets. That might be the problem that they're thinking about. So that's why we've got to think about the problem in the customer's mind, because we've got to speak to that. If we just speak about PR, we're going to miss potentially a section of the market. If we speak about the problems they've got, now we're on the money. So first thing is identify the problem, and now we can look at the how do we solve it. And what you need to think about here is not all the great things that you're good at, but what are the few things that you're really good at? So when it comes to marketing, less is more. If we try and tell people that we can solve all these different problems, or we've got all these solutions to their marketing needs, we can do PR, social media, video editing, whatever it might be. If we do all those things, our message is going to have less power. People just don't believe that you can be good at everything. But if you can choose what you want to be really good at, and also choose what you want to be intentionally not good at, and hopefully you're choosing the things that your ideal customer cares about that you're going to be good at, that has power. So to do this, you can look at you might just know intuitively what that needs to be, or you can just take a look at your competition around and see what they're saying they're good at and where you might need to be different, or you might need to take a look at your P&L and have a look at where are we most profitable, what sort of work do we do that makes us the most money and that runs the smoothest through our business. When you can match up the problem with the things that you are exceptionally good at, now you're starting to get that product market fit. And you can now move on to part 3, which is why they're going to choose you. This element, the why they're going to choose you, is referred as your unique selling proposition, your value proposition, your point of differentiation, all those words in marketing. But it is absolutely key, because we could go out in the market and address the first 2 things, the who is our ideal customer and what's their problem and how do we solve it. But if we're talking the same as what everybody else in our market is doing, then we're going to lack power. When you can give people a clear reason why they should choose you, then that becomes a point of difference. So the ways to think about this are obviously looking at your competitors and what claims they might be making. Also think about what you can guarantee. So there is some emotional concerns or fears that people have when buying your product and service, and if we can wrap a guarantee around that in a way that is different from others in our market, that can be a very powerful point of difference. Of course, if you can't guarantee something or you don't want to guarantee something, then making a specific claim around what you're really good at in reference to your ideal customer and what their problem is also a powerful way to stand out. The key thing is you've got to be able to communicate your point of difference or your USP clearly, concisely, in a way that speaks to your ideal customer. Okay, so there you have it. 3 questions that you need to answer to understand the thinking and strategy behind your marketing. First question was, who is our ideal customer? Second question is, what's the problem we're solving in their language and how do we solve it? And third question is, why are they going to choose us compared to our competitors? And there's a template below for helping you with that ideal customer profile, if that could be of help to you. So go out there and spend a bit of time. This is the hard work. This is the part that's less exciting when it comes to marketing, but it is absolutely critical to put this thinking in ahead of time, or else when you go to spend your money and put all that effort into doing the marketing, it may not have the power that you'd like it to have. Spend the time, do the work, and then move on to part 2 and 3 of this video series around how to create a marketing plan that works. All right, speak soon.